Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're doing something a little different. We are looking at a beautifully simple source.
Very simple. It's a children's short story called The Sweater That Hugged Back.
Exactly. And our mission is to prove that sometimes the biggest aha moments, the most profound insights, they really do come from the smallest stories.
That's right. We're going to unpack the emotional mechanics in this story. We want to trace exactly how it builds a child's confidence from something external to real, genuine courage.
So let's just jump in. The story opens at Maple Hollow Elementary. It's the first really, truly cold morning of December.
And you can almost feel it. The whole place is buzzing with shivers.
And that's where we meet our main character, Mia.
Right. And her situation's so important. She's the new kid.
Yeah.
And she's dealing with that deep ache of loneliness.
And the story makes this really key distinction. It's not just that she misses her friends. It says she missed feeling brave.
Yes, that's the real problem.
Yeah.
The loneliness is sort of turned into this self-doubt that's keeping her totally isolated.
It's an emotional cold that perfectly mirrors the December cold outside.
Exactly. And any solution has to fix that feeling of vulnerability.
Which brings us to our catalyst. Mrs. Willow, the teacher, wheels in this big cardboard box.
And on the side, it says Lost and Found Winter Warm-Up.
So it's full of forgotten scarves and mittens, all the usual stuff.
But then there's this one item. It practically glows. A bright orange sweater with these tiny little embroidered stars.
This story says they looked alive with color.
And another kid, Harper, nudges her. Try it.
So Mia pulls the sweater over her head, and there's this sound, this soft foomp.
And then it happens. A gentle squeeze.
A hug.
She actually giggles and asks the sweater, "Did you? Did you just hug me?"
And I love the description of the hug. It's not too tight, not too loose, just a warm, happy hug like hot cocoa for the heart.
And then, just to confirm it's not her imagination, one of the little stars on the sweater winks at her.
Like a little firefly. The magic is real.
So the immediate impact is, of course, she's warmer at recess, but it's more than that. Much more. She feels, and this is the quote, braver than she had in weeks.
That physical warmth has directly translated into emotional courage.
It's the jumpstart. The magic isn't the final answer. It's just the spark she needed to get going.
Okay, so she has this new warmth, this new courage, but the story gets really clever here.
It does. It shifts the focus. It's no longer about Mia getting warmth.
It's about her giving it. This is where we get into what the story calls the kindness feedback loop.
Right. So she's on the playground, and she sees this shy little boy. He's struggling, just trying to zip up his coat.
A really simple, everyday problem.
But for him, it's a big deal. And for Mia, it's an opportunity.
And just as she hesitates, what happens?
The sweater squeezes her shoulders. It gives her that little nudge, that physical prompt to act.
It's like Pavlovian conditioning for compassion.
It is, in the best way. So she walks over and just asks, "You need help?"
A simple question. She zips his coat, and then she even hands him a mitten he'd dropped.
2 small, specific acts of kindness.
And the second she does it,
Squeeze. The sweater hugs her again.
there it is, the feedback loop. The action of giving kindness is immediately rewarded with the feeling of getting warmth.
Exactly. And it's not just for big things. The story mentions other moments like picking up a dropped lunchbox or sharing her art supplies.
Or inviting someone to join a game.
And every single time, the reward is consistent. A little squeeze, a little hug. It's teaching her a new habit.
So at first, the motivation is all external, right? She's doing it to get the hug from the sweater.
It starts that way, yes.
Yeah.
It's extrinsic. But the story shows how that shifts to something real.
Because it's not just the sweater that reacts.
No. The other kids notice.
Yeah.
After she helps the boy with his coat, they call out to her.
Want to join our snow fort team?
And that's the moment. That's the real reward. Peer acceptance. Friendship.
So the sweater's hug gets replaced by the world, in a way, hugging her back.
Precisely. The confidence she needed to join the group was actually created by the kindness she showed to someone else. She didn't have to feel brave first. She just had to act bravely.
Confidence isn't something you find. It's a byproduct of action. That is such a huge insight.
A massive insight.
Yeah.
The sweater was just the initial investment capital. Mia invested it in kindness, and the return was friendship.
So let's tackle the obvious question. What about dependency? Does she just become addicted to the magic sweater?
That's the critical test, isn't it? If the story's going to work, It has to show that the lesson has been internalized.
And it does. By the end of the week, everything has changed for Mia. The loneliness is gone. She has friends. She has confidence.
The sweater's job is done. The training is complete.
So she takes it off voluntarily, and she walks over to put it back in the lost and found box.
This is the proof. She's showing that the source of her courage is now inside her, not in the orange wool.
And her new friend Max sees this and he's confused. He asks the question we're all thinking.
You? You don't want to keep it.
And Mia's answer is just. It's perfect. It's the whole point of the story in one sentence.
She says, I think someone else might need a hug next. Right. She's moved from being a receiver of support to being a generator of it. She understands its true value isn't in having it, but in passing it on.
She learned that kindness creates its own warmth. For you and for the person you're helping.
The explicit lesson in the source is that confidence grows when we help and share and show compassion. It's not about focusing inward, but outward.
The warmest hugs really do come from kindness.
And the more you give, the more you feel. At the end, the story says the sweater's stars are blinking, sparkling.
Ready for the next art.
So to sum up our deep dive, the sweater was a magical shortcut, sure, a temporary scaffold.
But Mia's real lasting courage didn't come from the magic. It came from her own actions. Zipping a coat, sharing a crayon.
It's a beautiful metaphor for how a little bit of external encouragement can ignite this powerful, sustainable fire inside of us.
You know, it teaches that the way to deal with vulnerability isn't always to retreat and protect yourself.
Sometimes it's about reaching out. That little boy needed help with his zipper, but Mia needed an action to define her new self. They helped each other.
Which brings us to you. Since you listening probably don't have a magical orange sweater with winking stars handy.
Probably not.
Here is a final thought to take with you. The story tells us the greatest warmth comes from compassion. So what is the smallest, kindest, maybe even slightly difficult action you could take today to give someone else a little metaphorical star-shaped warmth boost?
And how quickly do you think that hug might just circle back to you?
That knowledge, drawn from the deepest dive into the simplest story, is now yours to apply.